guys, my computer just went out, so we're going live on my phone today, which we've done this before. So, you guys, that's what's going on. I was trying to get everything lined up. Can you guys hear me? Please put a 1 in the chat. If you guys can see me, hear me, do it, do it, do it. Okay, I probably need to, okay. 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 So, let me see here. It's too high. Oh, 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 oh. How's that? Is that better? I don't like to look down, but it's still too high. That's weird. I'm trying to get a good bass. Because the bass I have is just so low. Let me get a really good one. Let me turn this upside down. Maybe this will do it. Okay, hold on. How's that? Now y'all can look at my boobies. You can look at my boobies if you want. How about that? Thank you guys for showing up. Goodness gracious, I am breaking out all over the place. But thank you guys for showing up, and I'm so glad that you guys came on in. This is Tyrese Tuesday. We're definitely gonna do it. Jalanni said it's fine. Well, I see my boobies. I don't know if you guys see it, but for some reason I'm looking. Oh, it just signed me out. Wow, isn't that something? Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. It waited all the way until I'm gonna shut it down. How about that? Anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Hey Leslie, Sonia Watts, Shalana, Zena, Ruby, Lisa's in the building. Brown Sugar, Betty Mosby, thank you for the super chat. Can't do the super chat dance because I am not on the computer. But super chat. Soups. You guys remember this? Super chat. Stump it. You guys, we were, wasn't we, at the beginning? Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Boy, you know, we were doing it. But thank you for the super chat. And let me see here. Tammy, how you doing? Thanks for showing on up. That's our mod. Dana, how you doing? Good evening to you, Curlin. Shalana, Brown Sugar Judy, Barbara, Zena, Leslie, Shalana, Rhonda, Lisa Calhoun, G, Yo is in the building. G is in the building. I just say G. G-U. Cynthia, Nancy, Carolyn Roberts is in here. Val, Miss Dee Dee, Shay Too Silly, Judy, Jessica, and I think that's about it. I see Pooh Bear. Where did you see Pooh Bear? Where did you see Pooh Bear? Oh, Pooh Bear look like his Nana. Probably so. That boy is something else. Yeah, but thank you guys for showing up. We're gonna continue talking about Tyrese Gipson. Hopefully you guys continue to come in here on Tuesdays because people complain. Let me share something with you. People and I'm not gonna use nobody's name, but people will say, where's all the coverage for, you know, um, these black people. They've been missing and stuff. So where are they at? Where are they at? Because this is how you get coverage on stuff. You have to continue to come in and not just come in because, see, you come in and you'll listen to that story. But then when it is a story that is not getting coverage, nobody's talking about it, you guys don't want to come in. You see how this works? Come on, you guys. I know you guys understand what I'm saying. You see how it works? But if I was right now talking about Gabby, and I'm just being honest with you, we'll have a full house. We would. But then people get mad and say, they didn't cover these kids, they didn't cover that kid. But guess what? Yes, Pez, you're here. But what about the people that's so angry that they're not getting coverage? And so when someone says, you know what, I'm not worried about the numbers, I'm not worried about the views, let's cover it. We cover it, only but half the people show up. Nancy says, you're here, I'm here. Betty says, I'm here. So you guys understand what I'm saying? Today they did, and I'm not going to talk about the case of the Gabby case, but I want you guys to hear something if you didn't hear. Gabby's parents straight out said today in the news conference that they wish and hope and they believe that every missing child, every missing person get the same coverage as Gabby. He says the reason why they don't is because of you guys. It's not something they did. It's because of you guys. You guys understand what I'm saying? So when you get mad at somebody, you guys made this family feel kind of bad because, the daughter was getting coverage. And then we're covering a case that has no coverage. I mean, people covered it, got the views, got the clicks. I mean, they was getting thousands of people in there because it was fresh, it was new, it was exciting. And now when you ready for the details, like if you was really concerned, they don't show up. Yeah, they were good people to say that. They felt bad that some people was not getting covered, some kids wasn't getting covered, and they made it a point to say, hey, look, you know, everybody deserves, if you're missing somebody, should get coverage. But you see what happens when you cover a case that's went cold or no, another case come. You take, it's just like a pair of shoes. You take your shoes, you don't wear them. Everybody done seen them. You don't wear those no more. Just, but we're talking about people. And if you're really trying to make a difference, you guys will come in here on Tuesday and listen to the whole story because it does, you got the sugar, but you didn't get all the ingredients into this case. And that's why I wanted you guys to hear, you know. I know I didn't get to hear it. So I'm going to call her and let's get this going. You guys, you understand? And I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just not mad at nobody. I'm kind of mad at my computer right now because he don't want to do what he want to do. Thank you, Leslie, putting in all the emojis. Yes. Hey, Salem, how you doing? Hey, Sugar Mama. Barbara done showed on up. I knew I can count on you guys. Thank you guys. And I already knew how this was going to be too, because we already know this is how that stuff works. I'm telling you. Trust and believe, I know. But you got certain people that will complain, and you'll see them all the time. Well, they don't get no coverage, and these kids, and they want you to go all out back and argue with people about why these people got coverage and these people didn't. Want you to pick sides, start going off into black and white and all this other stuff and color, race war and all this stuff. And the minute that you cover something that needs to be covered because it don't have all the whistles and the bells no more, nobody shows up. You guys understand what I'm saying? But we got to make a difference, you guys. We got to, whether we get 2 people in here, I told you guys, we're going to be doing this on Tuesdays, or 10,000 people, or 1,000 people in here. Just, just show up and make sure that we support this family. Because if you really support this family, you would show up and listen about what happened to their child. You guys see what I'm saying? I'm serious. Because if I came to your house, I don't care if it was 10 months ago and I'm crying about my child and I want you to listen, I don't want you to tell me to come and yeah, you will listen and then you never answer the phone. That's the way it goes. And you got to remember something. I thank God that I'm not in their shoes. I do. I don't know what I would do if I was going through what they were going through. And like I said, there is people, especially YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, super whatever, ticking and a talking, whatever. They run, they grab these stories, they feel so sincere. So sincere. And then they're gone. Thank you. They're gone. They won't even mention their name because it ain't gonna be no view. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. We know it. Once it goes cold and people's not interested and the next back story comes, that's what they jump on. There's some people change a story every day. They're just to tell the story. Like the news ain't doing a good job of it. Maybe the way they tell it, some people can receive it or something. I don't know. Needed to go to school for news broadcasting or something. Let me call this young lady up and see what is going on. I am going to, you guys. I got my second shot right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. They put it way up there. I don't know why they do that. Anyway, let me call her up. I've been rapping and raving a little bit, so I'm just happy that you guys showed up, and I see everybody that's in here. Wanda.
Hello.
Hey, this is SP, and we're live right now. And are you okay to continue to, let's talk about this Tyrese case?
Yes, I am.
Okay. My computer's not working. It crashed, and then it just came on. So I'm doing the live by my phone right now. So,
Okay.
I can't see what's going on. I might have to start doing these lives this way anyway. So we were talking about all the things about, let me get my book out here because I am taking notes when I need to. Let me find where we at. We were talking about, we were staying on Brianna and how many people were involved. And you had said that they had went over to, let me see, let me get to it. You had said something about they had went over to
Cameron.
hold on, let me get my trial. Where's my, okay, Rihanna. Oh no, that's Benjamin. Oh Lord, who was that? Let me find, okay. Okay, so I still ain't found the one I'm looking for. Concerns. They had went over to Cameron's house, right?
Yes, allegedly.
Okay, allegedly.
Yes.
And there was Cameron's 2 girlfriends there and the 3 that showed up, right?
Correct.
So what happened after that?
Allegedly, Cameron's 2 girlfriends got in the car with him, and Tyrese, as I stated earlier, was put into the trunk of the car.
Okay.
And they drove to a property owned by Derek Hicks.
Okay. Derek Hicks is...
He's the only one out on Autumndale.
I know, but who is Derek Hicks? I don't think the family knows who Derek Hicks is.
Yes, he was arrested along with the other 3, and he was able to get a bond reduction. The police or the judge not knowing that he would be able to make said bond. That's where we were last week. But somehow that bond was put up and he was able to get out on bond. And he made that song that we discussed, Out on Bond.
Okay, Derek Hicks. How old is Derek Hicks?
I believe he is 28, if I'm not mistaken. He's either 26 or 28, one of the 2.
Okay.
I see Mr. Wooten in the chat. Let's see.
His father?
Yes, he is here. Derek Hicks is 22.
Okay. Let me make sure. I did get in. Well, I didn't talk to Information Man, that one young fellow that was in the chat. That but I'm gonna give you his number tonight. Okay.
Okay.
'Cause May the 19th. Oh, that's. I don't know why I cannot find my notes on this. This is weird. Did they drop or something? I see something on the floor. Nope. I know I didn't tear them out. Okay, so Derek Hicks, is he kin to anybody?
He is allegedly related to Jarius Fuller. And also there's some question as if he's related to the minor. Cameron also.
Okay, so when you say Jarius, you talking about DJ, right? Dinky.
Yes.
God, I don't know where my notes is. I'm going to just start another one right here. I'll find it later. This is weird. Okay. So anyway, so they make it over to, what's his name? Derek
Hicks.
Derek Hicks' house.
Land, yes.
Why did they go to Derek Hicks' house?
Well, his land is secluded, one. There's a lot of it. And that's where they were told to take Tyrese. They felt, there wouldn't be really anybody around, and that seems to be the case.
Okay, so they were. So they take him over to another house. Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So they leave Tyrese's home, picks him up, go over to Cameron's house,
Mm-hmm.
pick up the two girls, then everybody goes over to Derek's house.
Correct.
Okay, so then what happens?
This is where it gets pretty hard. Mr. is in the chat, and he can help me fill in any blanks if I miss anything. But according to tips,
Is Mr. Wooten G. Woo?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Okay.
they allegedly beat him up. Some more there. They already have him tied up.
Mm-hmm.
When he allegedly breaks free from the restraints that they have him in, Tyrese played football, and he took off running. We're not sure if it was Cameron or Derek who pulled the trigger, but they allegedly shot him.
Now, who's not sure who pulled the trigger?
The parents not, and well, the police know who pulled the trigger.
Okay.
But
somebody shot him.
Somebody shot him.
Okay.
He fell to the ground, and they brought him back and allegedly tied him up again.
Okay, so you're saying Tyrese ran,
Yes.
and they shot him in the back.
Yes.
Do they know that for sure?
That is what was told to the parents, what was told to us.
Okay.
When he was shot in the back. And when he fell, they brought him back to the spot that they had him originally. And he was bleeding and pleading for his mother.
Oh.
He kept saying, just tell my mom I love her. You know, I want my mom. We were told he was then set on fire. And a boy named Kyron lit a blunt.
Okay, hold on.
Him.
Okay, so there's another person there named Kyron?
Kyron Crozier. We spoke about him.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are actual text messages between Kyron and Derek, DJ, stating that they rolled him up in a blunt. They put him inside of a blunt and smoked him.
They put him inside of a blunt and smoked him.
Yes, because they lit him on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to put himself out. And Kyron lit a blunt on him while he was on fire and said, you want to hit this? To Tyrese. While he's trying to put himself out.
Mm.
And you want to call your mama? You want to call your mama? Was generally torturing and antagonizing him. After that, since he allegedly did not burn all the way, we were told that he was put into a 5-gallon drum, or the big drum, like oil drum almost,
Uh-huh.
because all of them worked in the oil fields,
Mm-hmm.
or either had family that worked in the oil fields, and that they poured diesel fuel on him to make sure that everything burned, including his braces. And they bragged about this to the family.
Okay.
They bragged about this online. There's video of them bragging. There's video of them, saying what they did. And there is an alleged video of the actual event.
Okay.
itself.
Okay. Okay. So hold on for a minute. Family, Tyrese is, we're talking on Tuesdays, Tyrese awareness. So you guys know the whole story instead of all the, nothing that you heard before and you heard, where there's numbers. You're hearing the whole story right now. And Tyrese's dad is in the live right now, you guys. It's GWOO. If you got any questions, ask him those questions. Okay, you guys? Because we're trying to tell if you was interested then, hopefully you're still interested and wondering because they do not have his body yet. And we want this awareness to go out there. Okay. So you told me they pick him up, take him over Cameron's. That's pick up. Then they take him over Derek's.
Yes.
And then they go over, while they're at Derek's, then there's, because Cameron's got two people with him. There was already 2 people in the car, right?
Yes.
It was her and 2 other people.
2 other people.
Okay, so it was Brianna and 2 other people. So that's 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So far, 7 people.
Yes.
And so 7 people witness this. Okay. So they light a blunt on him and antagonized him, mocked at him. You want to hit it? Lit it while he was on fire. Lit a blunt on his burning body while he was on fire.
Yes.
Okay. And I forgot they shot him in the back first, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then now you're saying they put him in a 5-gallon, or maybe more than 5-gallon.
It was a 50-gallon drum.
Oh, a 50-gallon drum?
Yes.
They put him in a 50-gallon drum and lit it on fire because diesel fuel burns everything.
Burns everything.
Okay. And you said there's a video?
There is.
There's a video. So who was videoing this?
To our knowledge, and Jiwo, you can correct me if I'm wrong, one of the girlfriends, either Nicole or Chantel.
Okay.
And Kyron.
So 2 people was videoing this?
Yes. That is according to the tips we've gotten and what I've seen.
And they and his dad says
they have hogtied him.
They hogtied him.
Yes.
Okay, so there should be 2 videos out there, and you're saying that the police got a video?
The police do have a video.
Okay, so could you tell me why there's only about 4 people arrested when there was 7 people that did not turn this in, that witnessed this, that has not came out and said or talked or gave this information about this crime?
Well, see, that's our problem because, and this is why the awareness is necessary. Not only did people who heard about this from the people that were there firsthand or took screenshots or whatever take this to Jacksonville Police Department. They also took it to Palestine Police Department. It was also submitted to the Tyler FBI. And apparently they have family in both of these police departments.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the FBI is concerned, it seems as if they dropped the ball by stating that the police departments, the local police departments that were in control of the investigations had to invite them in, which
Right.
I have absolutely never heard a day in my life.
I did hear that sometimes, I don't know where I heard it from, people have to get, like, what was that, Tim, the
Yes.
Equisearch or something?
Research.
He can't just go over here and look. He has to be invited in. And then sometimes the police can still tell him no,
And that's was our problem. We all contacted Equisearch, the family, the advocate, us, myself. We contacted them early on, and their first initial excuse was they didn't have enough people due to the pandemic.
Okay.
Then when we told them, okay, the family has enough people. There's entire towns willing to search. Just tell us what not to do, what to do. We'll get out there. Then they said, well, the local police told them no, that they were not invited in, just like the FBI was not invited in.
Mary's in the chat. She says the parents have to ask.
The parents did ask.
Okay, so
We were all on the phone together.
Okay.
They weren't the only search company that was reached out to, or nonprofits, even for-profit search companies were reached out to. And again, the police would not allow them to get involved. The family was barely allowed to mount a search, and even then they were told to stay away from certain places, and after that they weren't given the green light to go and search by the initial investigator.
So the police said no?
Yes, the police said no. They kept saying no.
Okay, so let's get off into some of these receipts. First of all, who was one of the boys' dad?
That's Rodney McMorris.
Okay, was he there?
That's conflicting. There is a tip that he was there, and then there's a story that he was not. Based on the way that he fled town right after this, then one is led to believe that he was there at some point in time.
Oh, you think he was there? Okay.
Because he immediately fled town.
Okay. Was there okay, is it in the song that they taunting the family, saying that they walked right by him?
Yes.
Is it in the song or is it an email?
There's both.
Okay.
There's both. I can actually pull one of those emails up right now. If necessary. Let me see. Let me get to that email you sent me. There's a song and there's emails that they walked right by him. There was a tip that came in, and that tip went to the police also. And it states, let me get to it, because I have a lot here. There's a video. Here we go. Well, this is one from Kyra. This is a conversation between the two. Put your little homie to sleep. You must ain't heard. We got him rocked. Oh, you heard about that? Put little bro in a blunt. That's what we were speaking in reference to earlier. Now, the actual... Getting to the email, 1 second. Here we go. I think I have it. Okay. This was a tip that was sent to the family and the police. So it says, this is a person that's allegedly dating one of these people. Or her sister is dating one of these people. So it says, you know that white girl I work with, and someone replies, who? No, Jojo, what about her? She told everything that happened to that boy because her sister goes with the young brother. What happened is the response. She said they fed him to some hogs, and she know who did it, but she's not gonna say anything. She said they fed him to the hogs. She know who did it, but shaking my head, that's crazy. Hell yeah. Who the younger brother and who her sister? Shit, I want the tea. Pardon my French. This is me reading verbatim. I don't know the sister, I just know the boyfriend. And she said they had a search warrant, but searched the wrong house and found pills, guns, and weed. Who is the boyfriend? The person keeps asking, who is the boyfriend? And says, Mookie. Somebody says, who the F is Mookie? She replies, laughing my ass off. Someone replies, I'm for real, LOL, the boyfriend. That's Dinky's little brother, right? The girl replies, no. She was like, oh, well, I don't know who he is. They said that's DJ, Derek Hicks' brother. There were more than 7 people who were either around or know firsthand. It says, but they did search DJ's house. And the person replies, hell yeah, and found guns and weed and pills. So how was that the wrong house? Because they had a search warrant to any house. She said, well, what's the other house? She said, I don't know, but they searched the wrong one. Why is she telling y'all this? I don't know. She be talking and coming to work and telling everything. She just told me this. She said, someone responds, when? She said, yesterday. She said, I guess you're busy. Someone replies, no, I'm not busy. She was like, guess what? They saying Cameron Shed burned the boy up. I'm gonna talk to you later then. She said, wait, what? You serious? She said, who is telling you all this? She said, I guess, I don't know, but he is dead. Who told you, and where's his body? I don't know where it's at, but they at my job talking about it right now. Who's talking about it? They said that they put the body in Tucker, Texas. Again, the person asks, who's telling you, though, and why are they so comfortable telling you? And the person said, I don't know, but, well, I know who's telling me. They said Cameron burned the boy up. She said, but why are they, who is they? Who's saying that? She said, so they burned him, then put him in a hog pen? She said, shit, I guess. I don't know, but he's dead. Who told you where the body was? She said, I don't know, but JoJo know everything about it, and the shit is sad. This shit is sad. What if it was Kason? And this person responded, I'm killing everybody for real. These people sad. That's why I want Kason to grow right. The right way, not the wrong way. For real, life too short. Life gonna be shortened for this karma. Gonna get them if the justice system won. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, Tommy asked about him. I don't know everybody about. I'm just listening because they find the other boy. Yeah, the other guy had nothing to do with this one, but why they so comfortable talking about it? Do they think they got away from it? How can anyone kill a child over 2 grams and be okay in life? And how can the next motherfucker be okay with not speaking up about it? I don't know, but JoJo know everything about it. And the shit is sad. The shit is sad. What if it was Kason? And that is the end of that exchange. That was relayed to the police. It was relayed to.
So the police got that email. Was it a text or email?
It was a text exchange between 2 people.
Okay.
And it was emailed to me. We've gotten a lot of tips where people have proved that they had sent the information to the police, and the police never did anything about it. They never took the tips seriously, ever. They never investigated any of the tips.
Well, I'm going to ask you, why the police not really look into this?
We have a couple theories that the family, these people have essentially ran this down forever. Rodney McMorris was a drug dealer, and apparently a judge by the name of Judge Bennett was Rodney's client. And there's been a lot of people that have been afraid of these people. Like I said, there are about 5 or 6 families that literally run this town. And people are so afraid of them, including the police. The officer and detective that I spoke with said, ma'am, we've had 7 missing people in the last month. I mean, we're a small town, we're a small force. Okay. Which would make one believe, why would you not call in extra help if you know that you're a small town and a small police force? You know that these people are a menace, and you refuse to call in help? That doesn't make sense to me. It's not adding up. The story is not adding up.
Okay. Somebody in the chat is asking, do Tyrese have a background?
No, Tyrese does not have a background.
He's never been arrested?
No, he was never arrested.
Someone says, sounds like the cops don't care.
They don't. They really don't. And Mr. Wooten can attest to this. I've been on the phone with him when they've gone down to the police department, and it's, what do you guys want today? And this is the chief of police at Jacksonville, and I'm listening in pure disbelief.
Say what?
You know, because these parents were being persistent in wanting the police to do something.
Right. And so this case is getting ready to come up on trial.
Yes.
What is the charges? And to who?
With Brianna, it is aggravated kidnapping, which I believe they upgraded the charges within the last week. I have to go back and check.
Okay.
But it was aggravated kidnapping resulting in death or harm.
Mm-hmm.
With Cameron, it is capital murder.
Mm-hmm.
Dinky, I believe, is also charged with capital murder or actually aggravated kidnapping. And the charges have changed. Derek Hicks is charged with aggravated kidnapping. But in Texas, they all carry the same amount of time. I see Miss Lisa asking, how is he connected in this circle of people? It is a very small town. Both Palestine and Jacksonville are small towns, but these people were essentially, drug dealers. They were very well known. He was more connected to the Brianna girl than anything. Tyrese did smoke weed. A lot of kids did.
Right. A lot of kids.
And you gotta buy it from somewhere. It's not like here or in other states where it's legal, so they still have people who sell it on the streets.
Right.
We're not gonna sit here and say, oh no, he never did it. He smoked weed. And that's how he got involved with these people.
Okay. Mary is saying, why have they not said where his body is at?
We've had several people say where they believe the body is, including the police.
What do the police say?
Police, when Mr. Wooten and the family and all of the community members that cared, including his coaches, were going to go mount a search, they told them to stay away from one particular waterway, which is called Trinity Lake, Trinity Waterway. The police have came several times and gotten DNA clothes because Tyrese is a twin. They've gotten all these things, and they have been searching the Hicks family land, and they haven't searched all of it. Mr. Wooten has been out looking. Everybody's been out looking, but they haven't searched all of it. This is the thing with these interconnected families and cousins and different lands. The police, but it doesn't seem like they'll go out for an hour or two, and that's it. But if you've got acres upon acres and waterways and, very heavily wooded areas, you're not doing a thorough search in an hour.
Right.
They seem to have failed but not just this family, but this young man. Period.
Right.
They're doing the bare minimum.
Right. Well, with all that information and the people that they do, is it that they not have told them everything, the family everything?
There is some things that the family does not know yet. But the fact that they have not arrested the accomplices in this is a problem. It's there's a lot that they're not telling the family, but there's also a lot that they're not doing. There are more accomplices. There are more people trying to keep people in the town quiet that do want to say something, or they're threatening them. They're showing up at late at night. They are calling their phones. They're throwing bricks through their businesses. If you put up a missing persons picture or poster of Tyrese, or snatching them down and threatening you. If you side with the family and wear a t-shirt, then you're getting threatened or exiled from different parts. Even the family themselves have faced this. So there's a lot of people that are literally terrified to talk.
Right. Right. So have anybody reached out to the governor or the mayor?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And the governor's office, the mayor, all of them have shoved the buck back to local police, the marshals, and the rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Who eventually,
Here's a really good question coming in. Tammy wants to know, how can the police stop the family for looking for him? What gives them the right? They need to bring him home.
They stopped the family by saying that the family could either impede in the investigation, or it was unsafe for them to go out and search, because they're going essentially into the lion's den by going down on these people's property. They can't search private property. They didn't want evidence to be accidentally tampered with. They've gotten several excuses as to why they could not go. They could search certain public areas, but most of the areas where everyone was told that, he could be, where the tips were coming in that he could be, was private property. So you can't search private property without a search warrant. And don't get me wrong, that has not stopped the family from trying to look. It's just they tried to do this the right way. It doesn't seem to be helping.
That's really sad. Do you know what the Wootons feel about this case? The Gabby case, and how much exposure she got in the search, and how their son did not get none?
Yes, we talked about it today. Of course, they never wish this on. Mr. Wooten and I talked about it today. They don't wish this on their worst enemy, but at the same time, they cannot fathom why and how the FBI got so involved so quickly in in the Gabby case. And here we are a year and almost or a year and a month since Tyrese has been missing. And he's gotten maybe a couple local news stories, a few YouTubers when the case was fresh and new, and haven't heard from anyone really since.
Okay. Someone asking, have they talked to an attorney or a civil rights leader, speaker?
Yes. Yes. They have talked to Cornell. I can't remember his last name.
Cornell X?
Cornell X. He promised to help them, and he spoke to them. I think he had someone else speak to them once, and then disappeared because the case wasn't big enough. They have spoken with the NAACP chapter down there, and they promised to help, and nothing. They have a victims of violent crime advocate finally who promised to help, and nothing. And an attorney stated all they could do is basically do the same thing that they're not going to be able to get much more information from the police than they are, which I found to be extremely strange. But at this point, the family feels like they're being tossed aside, just another black kid missing, and not to bring race into it because that's not their agenda whatsoever. But when you reached out to everybody.
Did they reach out to John Walsh?
John Walsh, yes. Yes.
Did they reach out to Tim Equisearch?
Yes, several times.
The interview room?
Don't know about the interview room, but missing and exploited children.
What about Nancy Grace?
Nancy Grace, no.
Ben Crump?
I'm sorry?
Benjamin Crump?
Benjamin Crump's office, I don't know if he was contacted, but I know John Walsh was, Nancy Grace was not, and I'm not sure about Benjamin Crump.
Did they call any of the the TV shows to ask them to share the story?
Yes, Roland Martin. Let's see, NBC, ABC, CBS, all of the major news networks were contacted.
Okay, but what about the stories like 48 or crime stories?
48, yes, was reached out to. There's another one we reached out to. Do you remember the name? I did one for my little cousin. Gosh, what is the name of that? It's where Crime Stoppers was reached out to.
Mm-hmm. Did they do anything?
And, not to my knowledge, no.
What about Lee Merritt?
Never heard of him.
Lee Merritt is the one that was on the Brianna case that was in Fort Worth, where that police officer shot into the house, and actually he was in this other case not too long ago, and he has been getting a lot of good results. Lots of good results.
We're going to have to reach out to him because I hadn't heard of that gentleman, but I did see Brown Sugar put in the chat. Yes, the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division was contacted. And again, sent back to they were referred us back to the Tyler FBI field office, where they were supposed to be having one or two, at least, agents come and speak to the parents and the police. And again, it's getting thrown and kicked back to the local police departments, the rangers, and the marshals.
Okay.
So resources are needed. This family stayed off work. They searched. They put up flyers where Kyron was filmed tearing them down, burning them up. People in the town were in the town of Palestine, especially, were basically undoing everything that they did. Candlelight visuals, everything that they've been trying to do to bring awareness in front of the police department. Okay. No one seems to care. And I had never heard the gentleman you spoke of, so yes, if anybody has any other resources, that'd be great. Their phones were cut off. They're calling everybody. They had to get new numbers. It's just been,
okay.
It's been hell.
So, okay. I tell you what, we're going to come on next Tuesday, and we're going to start making lists. I know we've got a lot of nice researchers out there. Tammy's one, Brown Sugar's one. We got some people that's not even mods that can get me numbers and make phone calls. Not only one person can do this. We all can. And just because we got to do something. We can't just sit there and go, oh, this is sad. This is a sad story. Of course it's a sad story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crystal said, what about Dr. Oz?
I don't think he deals with cases such as this, but I think calling the Jacksonville Police Department, the Palestine Police Department, Cherokee County, flooding them with calls, and wondering about this case, and actually bringing some heat down on them, because there are several other players. We haven't even gotten to the meat of this. There's a young lady who recently contacted Tyrese's mother and said that she had a child by him. And this, of course, would give a mother some kind of joy that her child, lives on.
Okay.
It turns out that the child, every time the mother tried to reach out to this young lady and meet the child and hopefully get a DNA test, asking questions, and the girl sent pictures of the baby, and we were all trying to figure out, if she had any of these features. We don't know if she was sent by the people who were involved in this or not, but turns out the father of this child, the actual biological father, reached out to the family and said, no, this is not your son's child. This is my daughter. I don't know what's wrong with her or why she would do this, but it was all a ploy.
Okay.
Get money or something.
Yeah. Probably get benefits for the rest of that child's life.
Yeah. And fake GoFundMes and stuff like that.
Okay. So let's do this. Next Tuesday, hopefully everything will work out right. But next Tuesday, we need to come out with a plan. I mean, we need a plan. We need a plan, and in that plan, you have to put pressure on certain people, because it's just like if you put your parents in a nursing home. If you don't go watching and looking and visiting, they do whatever. And nobody's watching and looking. Nobody's asking questions. You don't never stop. See, this is when all these cases start coming in, just like the Braylon Noble case, And I'm not comparing. I'm just giving you some results I see all the time, and and I don't know if they had something to do with Braylon Noble's death or disappearance or whatever. I don't know, but the family was like, "Let the police handle it." Okay.
Right.
You know what that means. Leave it alone. You
Right.
guys leave it alone. You guys are not experts, you're not investigators. But see, you can still have a group of people. Get many people as you can to 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 tell the story to, because right now, even though that is cold, because it's not a new story, and everything's done happened. Other cases done happen, and people usually when they have, even if they have a YouTube channel, or they have a Facebook channel, or they have Instagram, or they have TikTok, and things like that, you put that out there every chance you get. You put it out there, even if you have to make a fake account. Put it out there. Put it out there. Put it out there. The more exposure you put out there, the more people will talk about it. And you gotta get in touch with people. You gotta write letters. You gotta have other people write letters. So we're gonna get the plan together. We're gonna start taking down numbers. I see Tammy's in the chat, and she says she's on it. She says she ain't walking away either, and she's a really good researcher. Trust me, I can ask her something in a minute, and she'll have it. And she'll call me and text it to me in a New York minute. That's how good she
Yes.
is. She's very, very good. So,
And Mr. Wooten just said they reached out to Dateline as well. The families Cash App. Someone asked for that information, and the last time, uh, they're just praying, and it's hard on the entire family.
well, what you do. Yes, we definitely gonna pray. That's the first thing we're gonna do, and then we have to make up a letter. A letter is just a general letter, but state things like, pretty much just like you auditioning a book, or you want somebody to publish your book or something. You put in there the information, and you send it to everybody. You call them. I'm gonna tell you, it's so easy to get in touch with people these days. Did anybody reach out to any celebrities?
Yes. I reached out to Tyrese Gipson, considering his namesake.
Right.
I reached out to other celebrities that have Texas ties. I reached out to the Knowles Foundation. I reached out to, because, that's Beyonce. That's, she's Texas. I reached out to Simone Biles. I reached out to anyone that has ties to Texas that is a well-known individual, celebrities-wise, and sent them all basically an email explaining the situation
And
just
let me tell
asking
you,
them.
and let me tell you also, um, there's a good, to reach out to, um, you know, um, Gabby's family. Have you thought about that?
No.
Okay, that would be a good start.
Yes.
They're starting a foundation for missing children,
Yeah.
for missing adults or whatever. They don't know yet. They want they want to help. ask him, help. You got
Well,
help,
that'll be the
help.
next step.
You know, but let's get a plan together and let's get some of this. Let's we get some of these numbers and we'll just start. You know, uh, getting people emails and uh, Instagram where we can put this out there because it's kind of like if you ask them in front of people, just like just this last weekend we had a situation where somebody got upset about somebody was asking about why certain color kids get looked for and other certain color kids don't, and somebody got angry and told people to get over it. And so, but here's the problem with that. Okay, whether they just or unjust is just like in your Bible. Whether they are godly or ungodly, when you put it publicly, that means I have to address it publicly. So doing a lot of that, just writing a letter and send back, that don't get nowhere. What you do, you go, you wait until they're in front of a mic or something, and just like anybody else, you can ask questions, and then you say, um, they're covering something else, and you say, hey, what do you take on Tyrese Gipson case that's down there in Texas that nobody's covering? That's you have to do it publicly.
Yes.
You have to do it boldly. I mean,
Yes.
because when you address them, sometimes in the Instagram, I write Instagrams to people, attorney general, mayors, governors. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what?
Yes.
Everybody sees that. And I say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Can you address the situation of the two missing boys? Because you're the mayor. What are you going to say about that? See what I'm saying? Now they can delete it, but I can always come back or get other content or have our family. We've got a big huge family. Let's go over there and let's all ask the same question. You're not going to delete it all. So let's come up with a solution this coming Tuesday.
Okay. I'm 100% in.
And somebody said that town is very prejudiced. It's the most biggest prejudiced town.
One of them, yes. Yes. One of the advocates.
Why nobody did any protesting or anything?
They did. The family did. And again,
I didn't see it.
Some people got scared, and some people just felt like it's not theirs. A lot of people have that. It's not mine, so,
well, I'm not going to get into that right now because we're on a good beat right now. Well, she said Steve Harvey. Well, I don't know, but I mean, that's kind of digging down in the barrel, but anybody can help. Some people, it's just like our taxes or something. When you have a business, you have to donate and have a loss of income when you've done well through the year. There's always somebody looking to do work for for the you know for their name, for their firm, for have I mean, just we'll start digging in who to get in contact with and getting that information though. Let's do it come this Tuesday, okay? Um I'm gonna get off of here. Is there anything you want to say before we get off of here?
I mean, I think this is the start of people not forgetting about him. I can't forget about him. I really can't. And I know that your family has some of the best internet sleuths, and they have solved plenty of cases. People, if they just get invested, and that's all,
Right.
The family wants, and I want that people just don't let him disappear again.
Yeah, usually, and this is what I try to tell people, usually you don't want to wait until everything is done. Nothing actually was done, but there has been some arrests. So I'm not saying that they not. I mean, we don't know what else is gonna happen, But
No.
while they're getting ready to come to court, and there's still 3 people in jail, um, I mean, you still got to kind of put pressure on people. You just don't let it just be.
No. Because there are some people, and I will send over the some of the emails where some people are thinking they got away. There's more than 7 witnesses to this. So, and they think that they've gotten away and the police will never catch them and they will never put 2 and 2 together, because 7 is just scratching the surface of how many people either saw the video or were present at this thing.
Right. And then you're going to have to worry about, is the attorney that is representing the family, is they gonna just buckle down, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Because we did contact an attorney who asked for our help in finding his missing mother at the time, and asked for information about the case, and the family and I were thinking that this man was really going to help, and he turned around and was a friend of the family and started defending some of the people that got arrested after he found out what the family knew and what they did not know.
Wow.
So that man he's scrupulous. He had no care at all to act like he was going to help this family, and then turn around and got the bond reduction, and is representing 2 members of this crew of people. So they don't know who to trust right now.
Right.
When something like that happens.
Right.
This man genuinely acted like he was going to help. And next thing you know, he helped. But he helped the people who perpetrated this crime.
Right. Right. Okay. So, let's come back Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, you guys, and we're going to write down a plan. You always got to go out with a plan. So you start marking off the things you did do, and you just keep going. It's going to be a lot of hits. It's going to be a lot of miss. And something is better than doing absolutely nothing. And like I said, we can have somebody looking for somebody to do the story on Facebook, and we all got to pitch in. You know what I'm saying? And we got somebody looking up celebrities. We got somebody looking up news stations. There's always a hungry person out there that's wanting to start, that needs something. They want something to do, and they don't want to go. They just started whatever, they're detective or whatever, and that's you got to find that person that's willing to help.
Yes.
Cornell will not take the case.
No, he will not. And he was not going to school in Texas. Had it not been for the pandemic, he would have been gone to college. And this is why I say this virus did a lot more than people know.
Right.
They did. So he would have been here. He was on his way off to school to play football, and he was great at it. So I won't forget him. I won't let him disappear again. The family's not going to let him disappear again. So I'm hoping that, other people They're out on a limb here.
Right.
They got God holding them up, and nothing but God holding them
Right.
up. Because a lesser person without God would have broken by now.
Right. I mean, if we can find one person, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's 104 people in the room right now. And if we can find one person, once we find the one person, we have to go over there and look at it and tell people to watch it, or you know what I'm saying? And get the word out that, oh, that whatever. You know. So we're gonna come back Tuesday. We're gonna plan, and I think that's the best way to go about it. And get some information, post the information so people can, like we did on the California City Boys. Yeah, we can get somebody to say we're looking into this, or why this is not, or we might can help, or let's tell the story, and but we're gonna try to work it out.
Okay. Well, I'm here every Tuesday and beyond.
All righty. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good night.
All right. Okay, family. Tina said I was talking about Court TV. Yeah. There's a lot of things we can do. You guys rack your brains. We're going to come on here next Tuesday. We can get pushed as far and as much as we need to. And we're just going to rack our brains and come up with some plans and things that we all can be involved. Just think, if there's 108 people in here, just think, even if only but half of 108, okay? 54 people wrote the mayor, or wrote the police department, or called down there. You guys know, you know what I'm saying? And wondering why the news station is not covering it. I mean, all kind of stuff. Sharing it. If you've got a page, or if you got a channel, start telling this story. Okay? I will see you guys. I'm 22 minutes over, and that's fine. But I shared and tagged her. I will start putting out little information myself, and like I said, we've got a TikTok over there, and hopefully we can get a couple of people. I don't have a Facebook yet, but we'll get it. We're getting ready to work on that. Good information and things. All right. I want to appreciate everybody for coming in, and please, you guys, we got to start controlling what happens to us. We cannot sit there and blame somebody else for not doing something we're not doing. If you don't care, why is somebody else gonna care? Serious. It starts with us. It really do. And if you go and listen to Gabby's family talk, they tell you the same thing I told you. I told you this a couple of days ago. Where's the people at? Let's stop complaining. We know. We see some things that's not fair. And here's our chance to help out. So I hope you guys will be here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. We're going to go over some stuff. Please, I mean, if we can just write a letter, if you can just pray, still come in and support the channel, because people look at the numbers. They look at how many people come in here. And if there's just 3 people in here, they'd be like, I'm finna go hear about this or hear about that. This is very important. Come just like it was your child. Okay, you guys? Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.